Okay, it's Flux with Fluxwithit.com, and we got Dan Gill here from Akai Pro, and we're here with the MPC Studio, and we just got a few questions about this. First, what we want to do is go over what the intent of the studio is. Who is this designed for first?
This was designed for the customer that wants to work on the go, somebody who wants the MPC workflow, but you know, like me, I travel all but 1 weekend a month, so this fits in my laptop bag.
Okay. So this unit right now, when I'm transferring, when I'm using, if I have both of the REN and the Studio, right? My concern is this: I want to make sure that all my sounds are going to work the same, and that the workflow, excuse me, is going to translate.
Okay.
So with the way that the mappings are laid out and all that, everything is going to be one-to-one. You're just going to jump in right away, and it's going to work out.
Well, check this out. I want to show you guys, and nobody look at my secret code over here.
Oh.
It's 3.
Make sure you get a secret code.
I got it. I don't even think he knows it.
I don't know it. It's What I want to do is I want to show you guys. Okay, here we are. We have a studio. I'm just going to unplug it. Come on over here.
Yep.
Do you mind if I do something real quick? You can stay and play. Okay. See, we got the studio. So unplug this. Now it'll come up and it's going to say, hey, your hardware's not found. I just plug this guy in here. And then, bleep, done.
Okay.
So now we're back where we were. So now, of course, the audio isn't here. We can hear it, but there you go.
So you would have to set up your different.
So now what I can do is like, yeah, you'd have to set up a different audio interface. But now what I can do is just like, okay, I'm gonna plug this. I know you can't find it. Plug it back in. It waits. It finds the lock, finds the clock, and then back to go.
Are you guys considering doing some other way of handling the dongle situation with this? If you need to work on a track and you don't have your REN with you.
Here's the thing, and with the hardware and the software, they're really an integrated system, which means that we're relying on the hardware's driver and the hardware's clock to stay linked together. That's why we can get that kind of response from the pads. Like, the latency is practically non-existent. It rivals hardware latency. So if we were to break that connection, we'd start relying on the computer's clock.
Okay.
See, you got people like Hellfire that want to be at work, but they want to work on chopping up some samples.
We're looking at that because what it's going to require from us in the back end is it's going to require a way for the software to dynamically jump between an internal clock and our hardware's clock, and that's really the complicated part of it. We're gonna have to dig pretty deep. So, you know, that it's one of those things. It's like there's a lot of other things we want to fix first. You know.
Can you tell me a little bit about the pad sensors? Are these pad sensors the exact same sensing kit that's inside of here, or is it different? And if so, how?
It's the same mechanism, which means, from a schematic point of view, they're the same thing. These pads are thinner, simply because of the size. These pads are a little thicker. So with sensitivity adjustment, you can get them reacting the same way, but these pads have a little less travel.
Okay.
But they are they're a different mechanism, but you can get them to feel just as tight as these.
Okay. And the Fly.
Yeah.
What's the sensor in the Fly?
The Fly is a different sensor too, and that's more because that's more of a cost situation.
Okay.
Because this is actually a pretty expensive system. The Fly is actually closer to something like a Max 25 sensors.
Okay, can we walk over and take a look at the Fly for a second?
Sure. Let me lock.
Sure. All right, we're going to get some info on the Fly right now. I want to know about some of the design decisions and whether or not this thing uses 30-pin, Lightning, or both. So let's take a look. Make sure you memorize your code.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So
my luggage. No, I'm kidding.
the first question I have about this is Lightning, 30 pin, or both?
Lightning.
Okay. And
So that disqualifies all previous iPad owners.
not me. I got an iPad 4.
That's because you're fancy. You're fancy, but for all of us that are non-fancy, we don't have a Fly now.
Unfortunately, the situation was Apple made us decide which one we wanted to do, and they were very adamant in saying this is our design going forward, and it would be really good for you to do that.
So it was
Can you show us how everything locks in and
Sure.
and
Actually,
operates?
this is much improved from Summer NAMM, or last Winter NAMM. We actually got a little bit to work with. So you got this here. The iPad pops out like that. So then it's just a matter of slides on in, locks in, locking with the Lightning connector. Slide this bad boy in there. Then what you can do now is we got magnets that hold it down closed. When the magnets close, it shuts the iPad off. Also, you can set it this way, lay it down flat if you so choose. You can also, when you're not playing MPC, you can watch a movie, you can lay it down flat, take notes on it with or whatever. So it's a fully functional case too.
Now, how close are you guys working with retro NIMS when you're adding features to the REN, or if you're changing that around to keep things so that you can import files from this into the REN?
They work very closely with us.
Okay.
How's it going? Oh, hey, hold on. One thing, guys. This is Rick Stone right here. This is the man who is responsible for over half of the MPC sound content.
We got it.
So yeah, he's the man. This is for the forums, MPC forums.
Yeah,
So,
I got a video to show you later.
I hope you don't mind.
No, I love it. I got a video to show you later.
All right, cool.
Canon writing his theme song
Nice.
on the Renaissance.
Nice. Talk to you later.
So another thing about this is upcoming updates on this. Do we have any news as far as things like chop auto slicing and?
They're currently working. I don't have a timetable, but they're currently working on updates. So it's not like we just set it out and forget it. Retron's definitely working on.
Is this going to be working with Audio Bus?
I believe the way they're going to do it is that, and don't quote me on this, they could answer this better, but I believe Tabletop will work with Audio Bus, and this works within Tabletop.
Okay, so this will work in that. So it's kind of like loading within a thing within a thing.
Yeah. And actually, by the way, guys, hint too, if you have the app and you have Tabletop, which is a free app, it gives you 8 tracks instead of 4. Because what you can do is it runs as a single track, but you can have 8 devices inside of Tabletop.
Okay.
Little hint.
Another thing about the sensors. Now, you said it's a cost issue as far as having the same sensors.
Yeah.
Is there a way to adjust sensitivity of these pads?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
I'm going to email you on this, and I'm going to get more information on that.
All right.
Okay.
Sure.
Because I want to know about like velocity curves and whatnot.
Okay.
And okay, just feeling out the buttons here, feeling them out.
I'd like to see more resistance on those transport knob buttons.
More resistance.
They're kind of squishy.
Make them a little bit stiffer.
Kind of squishy.
Yeah. Make these nice and soft. These a little bit stiffer. You know.
Okay.
What about applications like Beatmaker 2?
This is core MIDI, so it should work.
Okay.
I'm not sure about like how they map buttons, but or how they map transport controls or anything like that. But
can you change the octaves?
That's what I was just about to ask, because the drum pads are real low octave, I believe, in Beatmaker 2.
No, you can't.
Okay.
So I believe you can remap in Beatmaker 2, though. Not sure.
Okay. All right, we'll be looking into that.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Appreciate it.